We'd have to see. We'd have to see. I don't know.
Mamma mia, Paisan.
Oh, somebody's like, fuck, is that Captain Lou Albonzo playing Mario again? Oh no, that's just Mario and Taz on commentary.
That's a spicy meatball. And it just gets bad and super like stereotypical, and it doesn't make any sense. They go from being the best announcers out there to why the hell is this happening?
I can't believe it. It's like a burnt pizza on my crostini with all of the paisanos out there in the spaghettini. Oh! What'd you say?
Beppo. That was like the last good episode of Family Guy. Peter gets a mustache and starts talking Italian.
Yeah, that's right. That happened. Oh, what a bump, buddy. What a bump. But, talking about bumps, WWE filed to trademark WWE's The Bump this week.
And that was the death of kayfabe, folks.
With the following use description provided to the United States Patent and Trademark Office, it says...
No, we swear it's about 80s wrestlers' cocaine addictions. We swear.
A show about professional wrestling. The production and exhibition of professional wrestling events rendered live and through broadcast media, including television and distributed via various platforms across multiple forms of transmission media, providing wrestling news and information through broadcast media, including television and distributed via various platforms across multiple forms of transmission. Did you do that?
No, I didn't.
Oh my gosh! It just says the same thing over and over again.
You got to be very, very particular with your copyright, folks. It's a fucking talk show.
yeah. This could be the Fox Sports 1 studio show. It's probably what that is. That's set to premiere Tuesdays this fall, which has been under the working title WWE Backstage, but that was never actually confirmed. Now, WWE has never filed, at least not yet, a trademark for the title WWE Backstage, but WWE After the Bell was filed for earlier this summer. So, I'm just not going to read all that for you people because nobody gives a shit what all of it says. Like they said, it's a talk show.
It's a
pro wrestling
talk show. Yes. What a way to put it. I need to come up with a description like that for our podcast.
Oh, that'd just be great. For a second, I thought I was just accidentally rereading the same line, and then I was like, wait a second, did Pacey do this? And I'm like, no, it literally says the same thing 5 times. Probably 1 or 2 words are different in it, but...
If I did it, 1 word would have just been changed to penis. You know that.
I know, right? I just love it. Oh, gosh. So, good times.
Yes. But with that, it's time for some bad times as we get into this week's injury report. Folks, it looks like Jason Jordan may not be returning to the ring for WWE, at least according to a Wrestling Observer newsletter.
Meltzer.
Jordan, who is listed on the Raw roster, has been out of action for almost 2 years since February 2018 after undergoing neck surgery. WWE has had him working as a backstage producer because his in-ring return was pushed back. And then they hired Kurt Angle as a producer and had no more use for Jason Jordan.
Dun dun. Taken out by his own paw.
Who shared a picture of Gable and said, "That's my boy."
That's my boy. It's like, aww.
It was reported earlier this year that he was doing pretty good, but still having issues with his gripping power and inability to make a fist in one hand, and his inability to fully control that same hand.
No kung fu grip, baby.
He's been pretty pent up as he hasn't been able to reach full climax.
It's sad. It's like the song says, hold on loosely, but don't let go. If you cling too tightly, you might lose control. Hopefully something good happened. Jason Jordan had the future. I mean, he could have had anything if anybody would have used him right now with so many other pro wrestling companies that he could have went into since WWE isn't using him right. So sad that he may never be able to wrestle again.
Yeah. I think this next bout of news is quite a bit sad in its own right. I would almost say more sad, but it's not. It couldn't be.
Well, obviously not, because they may have a future, but yeah.
The next sucks ass for
the
NXT
next bunch
in the
of
immediate now.
people. Yeah, NXT is pretty screwed going forward. It was announced Thursday that NXT superstars Velveteen Dream, Arturo Ruas, and Kona Reeves are not cleared to compete after suffering injuries during Wednesday's first live NXT episode. They fucking had one live show and they couldn't fucking handle it. Damn it. So to break it down,
going to win the battle.
Well, to be fair,
dream over.
To be fair, WWE NXT aired the first episode this last Wednesday, and from what I've seen and heard, I think way more people watched WWE NXT Wednesday than AEW. In fact, I haven't talked to anybody who watched AEW Wednesday.
Well, because
AEW's
still got 2 weeks, buddy.
WWE's single-handedly winning the fucking war so far. I mean, like, bad. Like, AEW really needs to figure something out here.
They didn't do bad in the ratings either. From what I had heard, it was somewhere around 1 million concurrent viewers on USA, which, honestly, for a first-time wrestling show on TV, even though you're established, so you don't really have that, not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. People flipping through the channels have no idea what NXT is, so...
I'm looking forward to NXT outdoing Raw and SmackDown in the ratings.
Oh, I can't wait for that to happen. Well, I can wait for that because that's when Vince is really going to get his hands in. I mean, we all know as
balls deep in the XFL by then.
Well, we all know now that it's on cable, he's already got more to say than Triple H does in it. I mean, you know, he's fucking writing shit, and I'm so scared.
I don't know, Triple H did an interview with Behind the Ropes, and he said that Vince wasn't there.
Of course
and he had texted him a few times throughout the night congratulating him and saying that he really enjoyed the product. But
yeah, that's Triple H.
According to Triple H, he's being hands off. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out.
Of course, Trips is going to say that.
Yeah.
But to break down the injuries, folks, Reeves was busted open during the dark match against Damian Priest, and that resulted in Reeves needing stitches, and he may have orbital bone damage. He is set to be reevaluated once the swelling goes down. Now, Ruas reportedly needed x-rays to his fingers following the loss to Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne needs to take it easy on them fucking fingers, dude.
Right.
God damn.
That's a really easy move to get away with not hurting somebody. Pull back a little bit.
Yeah, you don't have to be that snug. So he's also on the not cleared list. And last, but certainly not least, Velveteen Dream was seen, quote, walking gingerly.
Doesn't he always?
After his NXT North American title loss.
That's the definition of Velveteen Dream. That's his essence.
Yeah, I know, right? But it sounds like he's suffering from lumbar pain. Nothing too explicit here. We don't really know exactly what it is. But he is on the not cleared to wrestle list, so it's obviously something more than just lumbar pain, I would say.
Dude, him and Roderick Strong went on for pretty close to a half hour, I would say. It was a very solid match.
And you can't go wrong with those two.
Yeah.
Well,
and
at least
to that, NXT's Joaquin Wilde, I think.
Joaquin
Phoenix is set to undergo surgery for a broken eye socket. Wilde, formerly known as DJ Zema Ion in Impact Wrestling, reportedly suffered the injury back in July that was described as a freak accident during training, which means it was probably on purpose.
Yeah.
Doctors held off on the surgery for a few weeks to see if the injury would heal itself. But now they've decided that surgery is the best option.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I never want to see anybody hurt, but I can almost guarantee you that old Jesse Sorensen sitting at home, not being able to walk, saying, yeah, you motherfucker. That's what you get. For folks who don't know, in another freak injury, in a freak accident, way back in Impact Wrestling, oh, God. This would have been 20, I'm going to say 2015, maybe. It doesn't matter. Zema Ion was facing Jesse Sorensen in an X Division title match. Two extremely talented young men. Zema did a moonsault off the top rope onto the outside of the ring, onto Jesse Sorensen, and his shin hit straight on top of Jesse Sorensen's head, just crushing his spine. And Jesse is paralyzed now. So even though wrestling's fake, this shit happens, and it's sad. But yeah, obviously, no, DJZ, Joaquin Wild, whatever you want to say, doesn't deserve to be hurt for that. I'm just making a joke.
Yes. Speaking of a joke, it's about time we move into the returning segment, this week's Jerry of the Week.
Human music.
WWE Jerry.
I like it.
Is Tyler Bollinger, who was arrested at Monday's Raw after filming a Snapchat video of a police officer and other individuals urinating in the bathroom. What a good guy.
Come on.
Yeah. An arrest report notes that other individuals were in the video and that a man and his son flagged an officer down to report what had happened. Police questioned Bollinger and found the video in question. Bollinger admitted to having 6 adult beverages. Bollinger first denied the accusation, but agreed to show police his phone. He later admitted to taking video of the officer and at least one other man while they were urinating. The officer said he was working the WWE event and had to use the restroom. He stated that when he left the restroom, he was stopped by a man and his young son who told him they just saw a man recording people in the bathroom while urinating. The man pointed out Bollinger, and that's when police confronted him. Bollinger was charged with disseminating unlawful photographs and public intoxication. He was due in court earlier this week. But that's not all, Fat Mac.
No, we also have an AEW Jerry of the Week. And
I never saw this one coming.
I didn't. I would never have guessed. But AEW's Jerry is Kenny Omega, who recently spoke with Sportskeeda and had some very Jerry comments on the Wednesday Night War between AEW and NXT. He said, "You can call it a war if you want. It's just like, to me, it's like we're in a completely different kind of business. If these guys were on the same show as me, they'd be in the dark match. They'd be in the opening match for my main event match. On AEW Dynamite, you're going to see real stars, not developmental talent, but real stars appearing on your television sets every week." Oh, I love you, Kenny Omega. You're an amazing athlete, and the AEW roster is filled with some awesome talent.
But 90% of what you're doing is developing talent.
Yeah, all talent that needs to be developmented. It's look at Jungle Boy. That's somebody who, I hate to say it, I love Jungle Boy, but on a WWE show or anything like that, he'd be in the dark match.
Yeah.
If he's lucky. I mean,
yeah.
And you look at the guys
jobbing to Braun Strowman.
And you look at guys in NXT, you got Adam Cole, you got Roderick Strong, you've got all these people who come from championship backgrounds in the biggest of indies who don't need to be developed.
And lately, the only ones who are on NXT really are the ones who are already established or have established themselves in some way in the WWE bubble.
Oh, yeah. And outside of the WWE bubble, I mean,
right.
It's an argument for a different time, but I mean, WWE doesn't develop stars in NXT. They take developed stars and teach them how to be on WWE TV. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah.
They have very few that they've raised from a little suckling on their teat.
And I get it. It's showbiz, you know. He's putting on a front and just saying some bullshit to drum up some heat. And it worked.
Obviously.
It's a little uncalled for, but at the same time, Seth Rollins just did the same thing not that long ago.
Yeah, he did, and we called him out for it.
Yep.
But it is a little different as well. But I still think Seth Rollins' big deal was bringing money into it. But again, that's a whole different story, too.
Right.
Yeah, there you go. We came back strong. We don't do Jerry's every week, but man, we got a double dose this week.
Just in time, my friend.
Just in time for the new Jerry intro music.
Yes.
Human music.
I like it.
But talking about AEW, Pacey, I think it's time.